are back. This is Romantic Propaganda with Imani Shakur.
I'm Devon Hewett, author of Romantic Propaganda. That's my glass of rum. No.
And this is the only podcast where we broadcast the truth and expose the lies. It's a man's perspective on sex, relationships, women, love, our issues with women, and everything in between. It's raw, it's uncut, and most importantly, ladies and gents, we're telling the truth. Listen closely, grab your pen and pads. I know I say it every show. I'm going to keep saying it. Don't forget to email your questions and topics to rptalktruth@gmail.com. It's in the description. And on Twitter, we are at Romantic Propaganda, and the hashtag is Why Do Men? Get all your questions in, ladies. We'll answer them at the end of the show. And guys, if you have questions too, hashtag Why Do Women? And we'll answer those too.
All right.
And see if we can answer for you ladies from a man's perspective, if that makes sense.
You may not like it, but it's coming. It's coming. Ladies, it's coming.
Yeah, so let's get into it today. I think I'm going first today.
Yeah, first week you went, I went.
Yeah,
last week
you went. So my topic today is a really good one. I have a buddy of mine that's guilty of this, and I try to help him with this all the time, and it's the art of creating a new relationship. And let me tell you what I mean by this. Guys, if you're at the bar, the club, or the lounge, and you meet a new lady, don't text her the same night and go, hey, can we go on a date next week? You know what I'm saying?
Most time I laugh. That's funny.
Believe it or not, there is an art to this, and people don't like to talk about it, and women feel it, and men feel embarrassed by it. But guys and ladies, you will agree, and put your comments in the comment section. There is an art to it. Trust me when I tell you. For example, if you meet the lady at the lounge or the restaurant the night before, don't even message her the next day. Don't even message her the day after that. And I know it seems kind of funny because you have to literally think of this. But guys, if you want these beginnings to be successful, yes, you have to consciously think of it. There is an art to it. Wait 3 days. Give yourself a 3-day rule. Don't go home the same night and go, hey, it was nice meeting you. It kind of puts you across as thirsty, anxious, needy, needy, all those things. Give yourself at least 72 hours. Then hit her up. Hey, it was nice to meet you the other day at the restaurant. If she was seriously interested, even if she forgot, when you hit her up, she will remember, and she'll respond, and she'll respect the fact that you didn't hit her up the same night asking her on a date or saying, hey, it was nice to meet you. Give it 3 days. Hey, it was nice to meet you the other day. And I can guarantee you more times than not, you'll get a better response. After that, when you get the conversation going, just say hello. Just wanted to drop you a line, say hello, see how your week is going. After you talk for a few days, maybe invite her on a date the next week. You know what I mean? I'll let you jump in. I have so much more to say about this.
I don't know, man. I kind of...
What you mean you don't know?
I see what you're saying, but it may be a generation thing, or I don't know. But, I think some women are out there that care that a guy, if he texts her, I hope he made it home tonight, or I hope she probably is, if he texts her the same night. Some women translate that as he's really interested, some
I'm hearing you.
You think it's funny?
No.
He's laughing at me.
No.
You think it's funny?
I'm sorry. I don't think it's funny. I just wait
a minute.
It's just that never works. I haven't seen it work.
Okay.
And just because you didn't do it the same night doesn't mean that you don't care. But go ahead.
But some women are aware of the 3-day rule, the games, and all this and that.
And I don't think it's a game. I call it an art to creating it. But go ahead.
Okay, so it's an art. It's a. But I'm not saying I've done this. Right. But I know some gentlemen that got a woman's number. But like he said, the art. See, it's not about just the text message. Suppose, let's just change the scenario. Let's say he's at a bar. Mm-hmm. He walks over to a table full of her female friends, points her out, and says, I want to talk to you. Mm-hmm. Games her up, gets her name, gets her number. And instead of lingering all night around her, he's like, I'll catch you later. I'm gone. I got to go do something.
That's genius.
And he leaves.
Do that. That's genius.
And he leaves. But he's got the number.
Yeah.
Night's over. Never sees her again.
Mm-hmm.
He's driving home. She's driving home. She's going to be thinking, what happened to that guy? I mean, he was charming. He had a nice smile. He got my number. What's up? Then he texts her and says, hey, I know I'm texting you on the first date, but I'm sorry, I had got caught up with something, my friend, this and that. Make up some excuse and say, but I really enjoyed that brief conversation we had. I'd love to have it again over coffee. Same date, got the same number, but he did it on the same date. Right. You see what I'm saying? So like you said, it's an art. It's
right. Now, that's an interesting, different perspective, and that actually sounds good, I must say. But let's see. Okay, let me just say this. If it's a mature, smart woman, she will respond to that and go, wow, this is interesting. This isn't the run-of-the-mill, hey, it was nice meeting you. That's right. You know what I'm saying? So a woman may respond to something like that and look at it in a positive light.
Right.
And not look at it as thirsty and this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? So that's a perspective that I didn't even think about. Matter of fact, where's my pen? I ain't to make a note of this one.
That's a nice pen. Here you guys go. Write that down, guys.
Because that's something I didn't think about, like just approaching it in a different way.
Yeah.
And I'm still going back to what I said as well. If you wait 2 days, a day or two, 4 days, you still can say the same thing and it'll work.
It'll work. It definitely.
And depending on the woman, and it's actually safer to me too. Because then you don't have to worry about that. Oh, he's thirsty. Here, I just met him. He hit me the same night, girl. I mean, I've heard that many times.
Yeah.
Even if you could be as sweet as Devon just explained it, I've seen ladies sit back and go, he hit me up already. He couldn't even wait a couple of days.
But see,
ladies, say something in the comments.
But women,
how do you want it?
But women, like, what do you expect? You want the man to give you attention and his time.
Right.
And you want him to show interest. Right. Now, he shows interest, and it's a problem. See, that's what I call the 50-50 rule of women. Women are 50-50. They're 50-50 this way, and they're 50 one way, 50 the other way. Meaning, they get their hair done, they get dressed nice, they go to the bar, they go to the lounge, whatever, the club, to meet a guy. They meet a guy. He's charming. She gives him her number. But when he texts her that same day, now he's thirsty. It's a problem. It doesn't make sense. It's a problem. You know, you should be flattered that he is willing to not play these games called the art of relationships, right? We men feel like we have to play these games because you are setting the standard.
Yeah, because I'm saying this based on experience, like how I've seen them respond and how I've heard you ladies talking.
Right.
That's how I came up with this. Like, there is an art to it.
And women, you have to understand the amount that a man, the amount of fear that a man has to swallow, to approach you, and risk getting shut down. It's tsunami level. It's hard for a lot of men out there to walk up to you, ask you for your number, work out. Men pay for coaching lessons on how to talk to you.
Yeah.
Because your makeup make him feel inferior or insecure or whatever. So don't give him the disservice of saying he's thirsty because he texts you a day after or a day before. That's very foul, and it's very rude to categorize a man who's trying to get to know you and saying he's thirsty because he just wants to know.
Because he messages you the same. I mean, I will agree that. I guess it's one of those cases of it's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So I think if you come across like Devon, like your example, women, you guys should give us more of a chance if we come across like that. I'm not talking about the same old mundane, hey, it was nice meeting you, what you up to tomorrow? But if you come across the way you explained it,
right,
I think women should give you more of a chance. I don't know if it'll work. Let's see. You know, we should do an experiment. Let's see.
Well, and it depends on the woman, but unfortunately, there's a lot of broken women out there, man. You got to be careful. And I'll give you an example. There was a time I was at a house party, and all the guys were downstairs talking to the women, trying to be alpha male. And I was like, I had enough of this. So I went upstairs, sat on the couch by myself, and just was on my thoughts, looking at the ceiling. A very attractive woman walked upstairs. She came up, she saw me sitting on the couch. She was like, what are you doing up here by yourself? And I was like, there's no meaningful conversations downstairs. I have more of a better time when I meditate to myself. She was like, oh, okay, well, I like meditation and deep thoughts. And I was like, well, you're free to join me if you can keep up. She was interested. She sat down and we talked, had a great conversation, right? But I messed up. See, I told her, I like you. Now, when I said I like you, I didn't mean it like romantically. Right. Like I want to date you.
You just meant in a just neutral kind of way.
Yeah.
Hey, I like you. You're cool.
She was very smart, very wise. And I said, I like you. And then she looked at me and she was like, don't like me. Yeah, you don't fall in love yet. I'm evil.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I'm not trying to fall in love with you. I just said I like who you are as a person.
Yeah.
She got all freaked out, got up, and she was like, I'll go downstairs and get us a drink. Do you want something? I was like, sure, I'll take a beer. She went downstairs, never came back up.
Wow.
Never came back up because of what I said. Now,
instead of just saying, it was nice meeting you, I'm going to go and...
But you see, I flipped it because then I didn't go back downstairs to see where she was. She said she's going to give me a beer. If she comes back, she comes back. If she don't, she don't. She didn't come back. I stayed upstairs for the rest of the night, grabbed my car keys, and was heading home. I walked downstairs, I bumped into her, and she says, oh, you're leaving. I'm like, yeah, I got a long drive. I'm going back home. She's like, oh, well, I'm sorry I didn't get you the beer, my friend, this and that, but if I can get your number, I'd like to talk to you again. I was like, you know what? I don't think it's a good idea. I'm not in a point right now. I'm not in a position in my life to even
That's what you told her?
Yeah, I told her that. I said, I'm not. It was a great conversation, but I'm not here to get numbers. I'm just not that guy. I don't give my numbers to anyone. And I just left. She was like, really? And I was like, yeah. But hey, so-and-so, I'm sure I'll see you around. Right. Fast forward, a couple months later, I saw her again with the same circle. She walked up to me and she says, oh, I was surprised you didn't give me your number. So many guys give me the number like that. And I was like, oh, really? See, I already knew that because she was very beautiful and very charismatic.
She was used to guys acting a certain way.
But she's never been rejected before like that. And that's the art. That's the game that men have to play because women are setting that standard. Yeah. See, if I had chased her downstairs and said, hey, what's your number? I'm thirsty. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo, but I just want to get to know you. But if I push away, even though I want to talk, and fall back a little bit, she'll come when she has that mystery. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Keep that.
So it goes back to what I was saying before. There is an art to it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it has to be an art.
In the moment or the day or two after, there is an art to it. And again, ladies, you guys set this standard. I didn't just make this up. I'm saying this based on experience.
It's not like men
had this experience.
Bust out a book and wrote this.
Right. Yeah, we're saying it's based on what we've gotten from you guys over the years. Me, 20-something years of dating. I've been married twice, and you...
I'm 28.
Yeah, so
I've been in and out of relationships for 10 years.
Right. Yeah. So 10 years of dating, and me 2 decades plus of dating and being married and stuff. That's what I'm basing it on. I just learned the hard way that there is an art to it. Just don't hit someone up right after you meet them. When you're in the club, and to go back to what he's saying, I can share a brief similar story. Back when I would be back in Hollywood and stuff, when I first started hanging around them circles, I would meet women in the club and get them a drink and walk away and go, I don't even want anything. I just want to get you a drink. It was nice meeting you. And I literally walk away when every other guy in the club would get them a drink, want to be attached for the rest of the night, want 2, 3, 4 dances, and they're like, oh, he got me 1 drink, and now we're hitched tonight.
Right.
I would do
I'm stuck with him.
Again, there is an art. I would buy the drink and walk away. Like, what? You just bought me a drink and just left? And I'm talking about beautiful women who expected completely different responses from me. I'll just walk away. And I'd see them later that night, and that intrigued. They'd be looking for me all night at that point.
Exactly.
Like, where is he? And then by the end of the night, they're looking for me like, hey, you want to exchange numbers? You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Because I didn't act like the regular guy. There is an art to it. You know what I mean?
Men, take this with you. Write this down. When women put on their makeup and do their hair and look nice for the day and they walk outside, they are seeking your validation. Whether it's you honk the horn at them, or they don't like that, that's catcalling. But deep down, someone gave me attention. When they go to the club and they go to the bar and you walk up to them and say, I like your eyes or your smile, and you buy them a drink, you're giving them validation. But when you walk away, you're taking away that validation, and they want to go find you to reclaim it.
Yeah.
They want to say, does my breath smell? Or is my makeup? Yeah. 9 times out of 10, you give them validation, and then you walk away, they're going to be like, well, why did he walk away? Right. What's wrong with me?
Right.
Am I ugly? Am I fat? Does this dress really? And they want to prove to themselves they are not those things.
Right.
And how they prove it is chasing you. See, men, it's all a game, and unfortunately, it has to be played. We don't set it. They set it, and they
do set it.
They set the games that they don't want to happen in the first place.
Yep. It goes back to a few weeks ago when we were talking about the girl, the winery that was married and who was not wearing a ring just to get the attention, just to shoot you down. It just goes back to what you're saying.
Validation.
Right,
we spoke about that our last episode.
Yep.
Well, episode before this, one of them.
Yeah.
You know. So
that's it, man.
Take that with you, man. Speaking of text, men. This goes on to my next topic.
Yeah, we talking about Devon's topic now.
We talked about women a lot, but men, this is for you.
This is a good one. Men,
you need to have more respect for yourself. And when I say respect for yourself, I'm not saying like, wear nice clothes or wear nice bling. I'm talking about have some dignity for what you stand for and
value yourself more,
and who you allow in your circle. We're going to talk about communication between men and women. And nowadays, that's done with phone calls and text messages, right?
Mostly with text messages.
Mostly with text messages. Men, once you start to realize that you are a king and that you are beautiful just the way you are, just like a woman is beautiful just the way you are, when you realize you deserve the best, you won't settle for a woman who leads you on by not replying. For example, you meet a girl, she gives you her number, you text her, hey, what are you doing tonight?
No response.
No reply. He laughs because
it's happened to me so many times.
And it's an honest question. It's not sexual. It's not perverted. What are you doing tonight? What's wrong with that?
Right.
She goes to her phone. Now, trust me, it's 2018. She's got either a Samsung or an iPhone, probably the iPhone 10.
Something, yeah.
She's got an up-to-date phone.
Right.
She got that text message.
Right.
One of the biggest lies of this century is, I didn't get the text.
Right.
She got it. She saw it. And so when she opens up her phone and looks at it and chooses to ignore you, take that as an insult to your dignity. Now, I'm not saying that women can't be busy or have things to do, but if a sane woman doesn't have the courtesy to text you back eventually, don't waste your time. Yeah. And men, you're doing this for a maybe, what we like to call sometimes is a maybe pipe. Yeah. You're doing this for a maybe sexual encounter or maybe a romantic opportunity.
Putting up with bullshit.
It's not worth it, gentlemen.
Yeah.
For example, if she's talking to you and everything's going well, and she doesn't reply, men, don't send a second text message.
Yeah.
Don't send a third or a fourth. If you send her a message on Tinder, a dating app, or Facebook, whatever, or a DM, slide in her DMs, and she doesn't reply, take that as you're not chosen. Yeah. But you being not chosen, it's not an attack against who you are, like you're not good enough. She's not good enough. See, you don't fit into her life because she may not even be on your level. So shake the dust from off your feet, man, and keep going.
Yeah.
Men, don't feel like your value is determined on whether she replies to you or not.
Yeah.
In Spanish, some of my friends says, muchas mujeres. It means many women. There's plenty of women, plenty of fish in the sea, gentlemen. And you can't put all your eggs in one basket based on a text message. That's propaganda. A lot of women, they and I've seen it. He's seen it. A lot of you in the audience have seen it.
Happened to me many times. And I'm that dude who gave him the benefit of the doubt and said, let me text them back anyway. And I regret to this day ever doing it.
You lose points the moment you send a second text.
We got to stop doing that for a piece of ass. I'm going to just call it what it is. Or for the possibility of a piece of ass or some companionship with a woman that you find really attractive. We got to stop allowing ourselves to be treated like that. That's whack.
It kind of gave me PTSD. I remember when I was in high school, and a lot of my friends thought I was gay or homosexual because a lot of my friends were women. And I would go over their house for like slumber parties and stuff. And I remember sitting in their room with 8 different girls. And I would see them on their phone saying, oh, let me text so-and-so. Let's see what he says. And they'll text him and play with him and see how pathetic he is and laugh. And I'm sitting there like, why are you doing that? Oh, I just want to see if I still have him wrapped around my finger. Yeah. That happens. And you can smell that in a text message when they don't reply, but they keep you just barely there. Oh, I can't today. How about next week? Oh, I can't today. How about next week? No one is that busy. And men, do some homework. When you meet a girl, look at her phone. Does she have bedazzle on it? Does she have leopard cases? Is it all pretty and glittery? If so, that means that her phone's important to her. She's always on her phone. Women are always on their phone texting. They're always doing Instagram stories, Snapchat, little filter faces. Women are invested in their phone.
Oh, absolutely.
So when you text her, she got the message. Yeah. That's all I want to say.
What I like is the old classic, hey, how are you? And you don't get a response till maybe a day later. then they respond. They go, oh, I'm doing fine. How are you? And you go, oh wow, she hit me back. And you respond, and nothing. you know, I'm doing fine.
What was that?
Yeah, and nothing. I'm talking nothing. Ladies, why do that? Why even give your number? And this kind of goes into ghosting, which we'll cover on another show, but why do that? Why aren't you respond? Why do you respond and then not respond? Why are we hiding behind these phones and stuff as it pertains to respectful communication? Right. Why are we doing that? Just go, hey, you know, it was nice to meet you, or, you know, I'm really not into it. You know, I don't mean to keep ignoring you. I don't think that's fair. It was nice to meet you. Take care. Simple.
It's a level of disrespect.
Yeah, simple. And guys, we've allowed ourselves to be treated like this, and we've allowed ladies to treat us like this based on us responding to them when this happens. And we gotta stop. We gotta do better, be better, set standards, and not put up with that. Because I can guarantee you, when the tables are turned, they don't put up with that. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. And a lot of insecure...
Unless he's super attractive. Like I talked about if he's in our last week's show.
If he's got abs, guys.
I had to just throw that.
Listen, last week we talked about these guys. Okay, go back to that episode. Gentlemen, if you want the girl, just get abs. Seriously.
Make sure you chisel.
Fresh
cut, well dressed, super fit.
I'm telling you right now, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, I bet you all wouldn't reply to his text. Right. You see what I'm saying?
He's married. Yeah.
Even though he's married,
yeah,
he's married.
Yeah.
Let's say he meets a girl at a bar and gives her her number. She will reply to his text. And that's another thing, man, is having respect for yourself is understanding your worth. And when a woman can sense that you respect your worth, she'll come. Oh, yeah. She'll come.
Yeah. To me, the most disrespectful thing is talking to someone and they just don't hit you back. And to me, it's even worse when they hit you, then you hit them, then they don't hit you back.
Right. One of the worst things iPhone users suffer is reading that red text. It is so painful that iPhone has implemented the system to take that setting off. You know, if you have an iPhone, if someone texts you, it'll say red or it'll say not red. You have control of that. And people...
Kind of like on WhatsApp.
Right, yeah. People would rather have that setting off because they don't want to deal with the pain of rejection.
Knowing, someone saw it and they didn't respond.
Isn't that something? Think about that, for example. People subconsciously have that fear of being rejected and they'll turn that setting off. Yeah. Men, don't let that be you. Don't chase a woman that doesn't give you the time to say hi.
Yeah. If she's not respecting your communication the way you respect hers, cut it off. And I know it's painful. I know she's fine as hell. And you know what I'm saying? I know you want to take her out. I know you want to eventually sleep with her. I know she's beautiful. The hair is long. Ass is nice. You know what I mean? I know it's tough, but you got to cut it off.
But Imani.
You have to.
But Imani, some girls in this audience are going to say, Oh, but she can have a right to talk to whoever she wants to. If she don't want to reply, that's her business. He's not entitled. See? He's not entitled to her conversation.
Right. Or that's don't say nothing.
That's the male. That's the male privilege. That's the male. That's what other women looking for. That's the patriarchy. That's the male patriarchy talking.
Right.
No, it's not. It's common decency.
Right.
If you're not interested in the man, just simply say, "Listen, I appreciate your attempts, but I'm seeing someone, or I'm not interested." Right. Don't leave a man left unread. That's disrespectful.
And you know what I want to add? See, I'm actually old enough to remember before we got cell phones and stuff like that. I remember when I would meet a lady, and you actually could be in your car and pull up, oh man, she's fly, turn around, say something to her, and she don't think you want to like kidnap or actually rape her.
Right.
I'm old enough to remember those days. And back then, you have to go get a quarter, put it in the payphone. If you didn't make it home yet, call her. We all hide behind these smartphones and stuff now. Imagine doing what you do on a smartphone, on the phone, or in person. So if you wouldn't do it in person or on the telephone before these came out, why would you hide behind text and be disrespectful with your communication?
Right.
Imagine being at a dinner date or, at a park with someone and going, hey, how are you? And you just... Like, it's the same shit. You're just hiding behind a phone doing it.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. Imagine before these text messages
do it again.
Right.
I'm the lady.
Yeah.
Do it again.
So last week, what'd you end up doing? Exactly.
Nothing.
Yes. Stop doing that. When we used to have to stop and talk on payphones, you couldn't do that either.
Right.
Hey, what's up? I saw you beep to me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm calling you. I didn't want to wait till I get home. You wouldn't just be silent back then. So it was just different back then, man. People would not do that back then.
Right.
Not. With this shit, they just hide behind it, man. And communication has gotten very disrespectful. Yeah.
And you know what it is? What's happening now in this time that we live in is that men and women are starting to feel too much about themselves when they have nothing to offer. We'll talk about that in another episode, but I'll squeeze the lime on the coconut here and just say some women feel they deserve the best of the best without being or giving the best of the best. And it's always that backward cloud of feeling like there's always something better for them. Mm-hmm. And that's why they leave you hanging with a text message. They don't reply because they feel, oh, he's cute, he's nice, but he's not worth my time right now. When really they themselves don't have anything to offer. Right. See, that's propaganda. Is that a woman is beautiful just the way she is. She's one of God's finest creations. All she has to do is exist, and she deserves the best of the best. Mm-hmm. And that's not how life works. Life blesses effort. When a person, namely a woman or a man, tries to become a better person, they put effort on how to improve themselves so they can help the world. That's what makes them attractive. But unfortunately, propaganda has persisted throughout the time telling men and women that you deserve the best. So when they meet you, they are already sizing you up and judging you and saying, nah, he's cute, but his car isn't really that nice.
Right.
Or he doesn't have his career set up. He's not worth my time. Right. But they're working at Taco Bell or living with their mom and dad. You know, it's the same thing.
All I gotta say is be what you want, ladies.
And men.
And men too.
You are worthy of all the good things in life, just like she is worthy of all the good things in life. Men, you are a king, and men, you are beautiful just the way you are. Don't settle for no replies.
Right. Definitely not. Don't settle for no replies. That's the motto of the next week till we see you guys next Monday. So that's our show this week, guys. Tune in next week. We have 2 great topics again, like we have every show. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow us on social media. All the info is in the description. And remember, we're broadcasting the truth and exposing the lies. It's romantic propaganda with Devon and Imani Shakur. It's inspired by his book. Google it. You can pick it up a lot of different places and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Peace.
Peace. Adios.